Hey there. Welcome to Discover the Divine You. My name is Kimberly Nicole. Right now I'm on a journey to figure out who the real Kimberly Nicole is, who I was divinely created to be. So I created this podcast in hopes others could benefit from what I'm learning and the different ways I'm connecting with a higher power. I created this space for honest conversations about healing, creativity, spiritual growth, and learning to reconnect with myself while living presently in my life. I'm a mom of 3. I have a job. I'm in 12-step recovery. Real life happens every day. So this is a space of no pressure, no expectations, no perfection, just progress. A journey towards finding peace, clarity, and connection to something bigger than ourselves, going from chaos to calm. So here we go. I'm so glad you're here to take this journey with me. Let's get creative. Episode 27. Not today, Bruno. Hello, welcome back to the Discover the Divine You podcast. My name is Kimberly Nicole, and today we're talking about isolation versus connection. I find it very interesting and a little bit comedic that everything I think I'm feeling this day goes right along with my topic. Like, God has a friggin' sense of humor. I don't love it. I really don't love it. But I do love what I'm learning. So there's that. Okay, so let's talk about it. My initial instinct is to retract myself, to hide, to isolate, to say things like, well, I'm just going to disappear, see who notices. And those are the real people that love me. That's not true. That's baloney. That's a tool of the devil. And he's an a-hole. Let's just be honest. He's the root of all evil, and he's the reason for everything that sucks. And he is a poo-poo face. Oh. And today I really just wanted to curl up in a ball and hide. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just not gonna do it. Because I've come too far to go backwards. And if what's ahead of me is too scary to look at, I'll just turn around and walk backwards. But keep moving forward. Because I am not about to give all that hard work up because some a-hole tries to trick me into thinking that I am not enough. Or that I messed up, so I should just disappear. That's an old way of thinking, okay? I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't want to feed those thoughts. So instead, I'm going to connect. First, by talking to my sponsor or a fellow in my program. Second, by showing up and doing the next right thing that's on my to-do list, which is not very long. I can't do that anymore. I can't make like a 1,700 page list of to-dos, because then if I don't do them all, that's a whole nother set of problems. So instead, what I do is I do 3 things. I write 3 things, and that's my limit. And I today film my podcast was on my list. So here I am, showing up, making connection rather than isolation. So I want to continue to feel more like my divine self. And in doing that, I need to continue making connections, not only with my higher power, but with the people around me, with my family, my friends, my community, my clients, and my fellows, if I didn't already say that. And it's easier for me to connect with fellows than it is with my family and friends, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. So why do I choose isolation versus connection? because I don't want to be seen. I don't want to have to play a part. I don't want to have to pretend and fake it till I make it and put on a show so that I don't make others sad. Now, I'm not saying that you should never be alone. I think there's appropriate times where we just need to be quiet and calm and by ourselves. And when you get to that place where you are comfortable being with yourself, that's the best. It really is. Because if it's just you and your higher power and you are completely content, you're not, oh, woe is me, I'm the victim, or feeling bad about yourself. You're just really calm and peaceful and happy. You've made it, my friends. Like, you can go out to a restaurant all by yourself, sit at a table confidently. Good for you. That's the place I want to get to eventually, one day. And I probably could go out to dinner by myself and not care about who's there with me. I just don't, because I'm trying to save money because I got 3 kids and it's expensive. Life is really expensive. And you know what? It's interesting that I brought finances up, because finances usually are the main reason why I want to retreat. Because, living costs money, eating costs money, clothing yourself costs money, having a place to live costs money, having a phone to film videos costs money, and posting them, having internet to post them costs money. So life is expensive, and not having the amount of money that I want to have sometimes causes me to want to become a little hermit and get inside of myself and pretend that I don't exist. Because I am ashamed of not having what I want or need to exist. And I hate saying no to my children, especially when it's a need or a very positive want, like going to do something fun or join a sports team or buy shoes or whatever. And it is my goal to get to a place where I can say no confidently, not because I don't have the money, but because it's not something that we need to spend our money on. And so isolating myself to protect the feelings of other people feels very noble and selfless, but it's not. I'm really isolating myself to protect myself from shame, fear, guilt, embarrassment, what have you, all those lovely things. So what I want to do today, instead of retreating, is trust my higher power has got this, that I am putting in all the footwork I know how to do. I am praying constantly. I am grateful for the opportunity to do that, because I don't want to become an a-hole when I have money to spend, or to have more money than I need to live. That sounds like a dream. And I don't want to become some greedy, cocky SOB who cares more about money than people. That's like my worst nightmare. So I am going to look at this opportunity where our finances aren't exactly where I would love them to be like, hey, I now know where I want to be and where I am. And now I'm in that in-betweeny part that's uncomfortable, where I've got to work towards getting to where I want to be. And I know I'll get there because I've seen it. I have a very vivid vision of where my life will be one day. And it's beautiful and fantastic and amazing. And God put that thought in my head. I didn't create it out of thin air or my imagination. It is something that I saw in my meditation with my higher power. So staying connected instead of isolating is the most important thing for me. And that doesn't mean I need people around me all the time, but I need to stay in constant contact with my higher power at all times. and make sure that I am doing the next right thing according to higher power's will and not Kim's will, because Kimberly doesn't know all the things. She thinks she does, but she really doesn't. And the divine version of me is way more connected to higher power than the current version of me. So I'm grateful for the thought today that I can use this as an opportunity to learn and grow and create more positive thoughts that will lead to more positive action, because my initial instinct is to do the opposite of that. So I'm just not gonna. I'm not going to let Bruno win today. I am not going to let the darkness take over. And, if I'm being real, it is more comfy there. It's dark and it's quiet. And, well, it's not really quiet. There's a lot of voices there. But it's familiar. It's familiar. But I'm done with the familiar. I want to be in the safety of my higher power's presence, which is in the present. And I want to stay in a hopeful, faithful, trusting mindset to lead me to more positive actions. So today, I just want to invite you all to maybe sit down and think about where you might be isolating, and maybe a couple of ways where you can connect. Even if it means taking your kids to a park and talking to a total stranger mom who's brought their kids to the park, or going to one of those church activities that you really don't want to go to and saying hi to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, or making a phone call to a family member or a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. That is okay. That is part of your process to breaking those, cycles that lead you down the same paths. And if you want different results, you got to make different choices, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. So let's work together on turning isolation into connection, because we deserve it. We deserve to feel loved and connected and not isolated. Let's not believe the lies, okay? And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Hey, thanks so much for being here today. You're my favorite. I'm so glad you came. I know life is busy, so I really do appreciate the time you're taking to do some self-care and hang out with me for a little bit. If something that we talked about today resonated with you and you want to dig a little deeper, I put together a 5-minute creative reset guide called Chaos to Calm that you can access in the show's description. And I would be so grateful if you'd subscribe and share this podcast with someone out there that you think could benefit from what we're creating here together. Also, remember, I am just sharing my experience, strength, and hope as I understand it here. So if bigger emotions come up, please take care of yourself and reach out to a licensed professional or someone that you trust for support. You are not alone in this. So until we create together again, please be kind to yourself and do something creative, because you deserve it.